Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we'll explore the story of the Issei, a Japanese battleship that highlights the evolution of naval strategy during the early 20th century. Commissioned in 1917, the Issei initially represented the peak of battleship design but later became a symbol of Japan's innovative yet desperate attempts to adapt to changing warfare during World War II. Its transition from a battleship to a hybrid aircraft carrier reveals much about Japan's strategic challenges and limitations. The Issei was part of the Issei-class battleships, designed in response to Japan's growing naval ambitions during the early 20th century. With a displacement of 38,000 tons after modernization and armed with 12 12-inch guns, the Issei was a formidable battleship when it was commissioned in 1917. It was heavily armored, had a top speed of 25 knots after upgrades, and featured improved fire control systems during interwar modernizations. However, the interwar period marked a shift in naval warfare with the rise of air power and aircraft carriers. Battleships, once the core of naval fleets, were increasingly vulnerable without air support. Japan's devastating loss of aircraft carriers at the Battle of Midway in 1942 forced the Imperial Japanese Navy to rethink its strategies. In response, the Issei was converted into a hybrid battleship carrier in 1943. Two aft gun turrets were replaced with a flight deck and hangar, allowing the ship to carry up to 22 aircraft, mostly floatplanes. This conversion aimed to combine the heavy firepower of a battleship with the operational flexibility of an aircraft carrier. However, the design had significant limitations. The Issei lacked a catapult system, meaning its aircraft had to be launched by crane, severely restricting its operational effectiveness. In practice, the Issei struggled to fulfill either role fully, functioning neither as an effective battleship nor as a capable carrier. Before its conversion, the Issei served in training and patrol roles. After its transformation, it joined the Japanese fleet as part of a decoy force during the Battle of Leyte Gulf in 1944. The Japanese hoped the Issei and similar ships would draw American forces away from the main theater of combat. While the Issei survived this battle, it played a minor role and did not engage in direct combat. As the war progressed, Japan's worsening fuel shortages and lack of air superiority further diminished the Issei's strategic value. By 1945, the Issei was largely confined to Japanese waters. The Issei met its fate in July 1945 during American airstrikes on Kure Naval Base. Bombed repeatedly, the ship was heavily damaged and rendered inoperable. It was eventually scuttled by its crew to prevent capture. After the war, the ship was salvaged and scrapped. The Issei remains a fascinating example of naval innovation under pressure. Its hybrid design reflected Japan's ingenuity but also its desperation during the later years of World War II. Ultimately, the Issei demonstrated that adapting older platforms to new forms of warfare often resulted in compromises that limited their effectiveness. The story of the Issei is a reminder of how rapidly warfare evolves and how technological and strategic innovation is often born from necessity. While the Issei's impact on World War II was limited, it stands as a symbol of the Imperial Japanese Navy's response to the challenges of modern naval warfare. Thank you.